Zambales has been a go-to destination for weekend warriors from Manila for years. In this video, we're introducing you to Crystal Beach Resort in Zambales. What's up, Beach Listers? This is Hannah from Philippine Beach List. For more than a decade, our team, together with our partners at The Poor Traveler, have been exploring the Philippines to list out the best the country has to offer. Breathtaking sights, brag-worthy bites, and of course, beautiful beaches. Crystal Beach Resort may not be new to campers, but for Mariah and I, who cannot pitch a tent to save our lives, this beach resort was a great experience as a first foray into camping. Okay, you got us. We didn't really do camping in every sense of the word, and I'll talk more about that in this video on Crystal Beach Resort. But before we begin, please subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon beside it, and select all so you won't miss any of our informative travel videos. If you're watching this on Facebook, support us by following this page and sharing this video. And if you want to score discounts on hotels, resorts, tours, and other activities on Klook, use our promo code PHBeachClook to score up to 300 pesos off. You can find this code in the description of this video or pinned comment for easier reference in the future. Using these promo codes also helps us maintain this channel because we get credited for every booking at no additional cost to you. In fact, you even get great discounts. It's a win-win. Located in San Narciso, Zambales, Crystal Beach Resort is among the top resorts in this part of Luzon. They have a range of accommodation options from basic rooms and dorms to more comfortable air-conditioned rooms that can cater to different types of travelers. And if you're the type to rough it out, camping is also an option here. But how do you get to Crystal Beach Resort in the first place? Getting from Manila to Crystal Beach Resort takes around 4 to 5 hours by land travel. If you're driving, it could take a bit less, especially if you leave early to avoid the heavy traffic. Nowadays, it's a lot easier to navigate as long as you have a smartphone and data connection. You can either use Waze or Google Maps and just type in Crystal Beach Resort as your destination and you're good to go. If your only option is to take public transportation, don't worry because the resort is still very accessible by bus and tricycle. Here's how you can commute from Manila to Crystal Beach Resort. First, board a bus bound for Iba or Santa Cruz and get off at San Narciso town proper. You can take a Victory Liner bus from their terminals in Pasay, Cubao, Sampaloc, and Caloocan. Here are the bus schedules for their Iba and Santa Cruz routes from these terminals as of recording. Please keep in mind that these schedules might change, so double-check with Victory Liner's official Facebook page for the updated schedule. Once you get off the bus, you'll see a tricycle terminal. Just tell the driver to take you to Crystal Beach Resort. The ride takes about 5 minutes and the fare is 50 pesos per ride. And that's it. Booking a stay at Crystal Beach Resort is simple. You can go to their website crystalbeachresortzambales.com to book a room, or you may also contact them through mobile and email. Or you can even send them a message on their official Facebook page. For our trip, we called them to make a reservation and we paid upon arrival. Cash and card payments are accepted at the resort. Now that you know how easy it is to get to Crystal Beach Resort, let's talk about one of the most important things to know when planning a trip: the rates. As mentioned earlier, there are different types of accommodations here. If you want a more comfortable stay, book one of their rooms. They have rooms good for up to 6 packs if you're traveling with family or friends. Here are their rates. These rates are inclusive of breakfast and entrance fees for each guest. Please note that they also require a 1,000 peso security deposit per room, which is refundable upon checkout. If you're on a budget or you just want to go camping, that's also an option here. And we honestly think it's the way to go, especially because the tents or the tent area is actually right at the front of the beach. Whether you're bringing your own tent, camping with your car, or you're thinking of renting a tent, Crystal Beach Resort has a campsite for you. Here are the entrance fees, tent rentals, and tent pitching rates. There are two camping packages here, Ultimate Camping and Pleasant Camping. Ultimate Camping costs 799 pesos per person and covers the entrance fee and the camping spot. If you want to add breakfast for your stay, avail of the Pleasant Camping package which costs 1,250 per person. Keep in mind that these rates are for those who are bringing their own tents. If you want to rent a tent, it would cost an additional 1,200 pesos per night for a tent for two, beddings included. But we highly recommend buying your own tent prior to going on your trip because it would be cheaper in the long run, especially if you think you'd go on more camping trips in the future. Now, if you're the type of person who's open to the idea of camping but would still prefer certain luxuries like not having to set up your own tent, which is basically Mariah and I, you may want to try their glamping option. Their glamping tent costs 3,750 pesos and can accommodate 2 people. The glamping tent is a bigger tent with a double-sized mattress and beddings, plus an electric fan, light, and sockets where you can charge your gadgets, and the cooler you can use during your stay. The glamping package also includes toiletries and complimentary breakfast, which we really enjoyed. This was the package we availed, and it was honestly perfect for us because we got a tent that was as close to the shore as possible, which made for a wonderful wake-up call the morning after. As Mariah and I both found out during this trip, car camping is apparently also a popular option here at Crystal Beach Resort. Here are their car camping rates. These packages are perfect for anyone staying overnight, but Crystal Beach Resort also offers day tours for the time-strapped. For 700 pesos per person, you can have access to the resort from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. This also includes a 200 peso consumable voucher that you can use for food and drinks at their restaurant. Now that you've made your booking, what are some things you can do at Crystal Beach Resort? What else would be on the top of your things to do at the beach but swimming or chilling on the beach? Similar to many beach destinations in Zambales, this resort does not have fine white sand. Instead, it has a fine grayish-black sand that glistens under the sun. The water here is shallow but quickly gets deeper. The waves can be strong too, so if you're a non-swimmer, it's best to stay close to the shore. Speaking of waves, Zambales may not be as popular as a surfing destination as other places like La Union, Bataan, and Siargao, but the swells here are great too. Here in Crystal Beach, you will find Quicksilver Surf Camp where you can get surfing lessons if you're a beginner or rent a surfboard if you're an experienced surfer. Surf lessons cost around 600 pesos per head for an hour. If you're not into surfing but you still want to do some water activities, you can also rent a kayak or a stand-up paddle. You're less likely to be swept into the waves with these options, but we reckon that anything that gets you into the water is still a fun activity. You can rent a 1-seater kayak for 350 pesos an hour or a 2-seater for 700 pesos per hour. Meanwhile, the stand-up paddleboard will cost you 350 pesos per hour. Inside the resort, you will find a coffee shop right by the beach called Waves Coffee. Very appropriate. They offer various coffee and non-caffeinated drinks that you can enjoy while sitting by the beach and watching the waves. For a more refreshing drink, they also serve slush and flavored soda. Their drinks are priced at 135 pesos to 185 pesos. On weekends, Crystal Beach Resort has acoustic nights. If you're going camping or staying overnight, this is a free activity you can enjoy at night. Sit under the stars with your friends, family, or loved ones as you get serenaded by talented local musicians. If you're into sports, you can also play volleyball or basketball at the resort. This is perfect if you're on a trip with a group of friends who have the same love for sports. You can rent a volleyball or a basketball for 100 pesos per hour. Many of us travel to relax, and if you want to achieve peak relaxation while you're in Crystal Beach, you can avail of their massage services. This can be a great way to end your day after swimming or doing water activities. Their body massage costs 600 pesos per hour. Unfortunately, we weren't able to catch the sunset here since we arrived around 7 p.m. after an island hopping trip in San Antonio, which we talked about in a previous video. We'll include the link of that video in the description in case you want a full-blown Zambales itinerary. But going back to the sunset, although we missed it here, we were able to catch it in Pundakit in San Antonio, and it was gorgeous. So when you visit Crystal Beach Resort, don't miss seeing the colorful hues in the sky during sundown. I know taking photos is like second nature to most of us now, and we don't need to tell you this. But Mariah and I enjoyed taking photos around the resort. What was originally just a 30-minute photo session around the resort took us almost an hour and a half because we kept stopping for photos. The beach and its blue waters with the backdrop of the mountains of Zambales is stunning, and the rows of agoho trees by the resort's campgrounds give a beach meets Baguio vibe. So make sure your phone or camera has lots of space to take photos. Now we'll be answering some frequently asked questions. Where can we eat? Crystal Beach Resort has an in-house restaurant where you can dine during your stay. Their menu includes various Filipino dishes and desserts. They also serve pasta, burgers, and sandwiches if you're looking for a light meal or snacks. For drinks, they offer coffee, fruit shakes, and cocktails. Another option for drinks is Waves Coffee, which is the coffee shop right by the beach. Can I bring outside food? Yes, however, the resort does have some restrictions on this. They charge corkage fees for outside catered food and non-alcoholic drinks. Meanwhile, alcoholic drinks are not allowed. But of course, if you're going camping, you can bring chips and raw food, provided that you have your own gas or butane stove or rent a griller at the resort. You must also bring your own cookware, tools, and dining ware. Are there showers and toilets for campers? Of course. The resort has a separate area for toilets and another area for showers. You will find these right next to the restaurant. Do day tour guests have access to showers too? Yes, day tour guests also have access to the shower and toilet areas, which also serve as the changing rooms. Are pets allowed? Good news for parents, Crystal Beach Resort is a pet-friendly resort. However, keep in mind that they remind guests who are bringing their fur babies to bring their own linens if the pets sleep on the bed, or bring a pet bed if they sleep on the floor. A few other reminders are to make sure your pets are vaccinated and to ensure that your pets will not be aggressive towards other pets and guests. And of course, to clean up after your furry friends. Hi guys, this is Hannah again. So before we end this video, I just want to chime in with some more thoughts about Crystal Beach Resort. So overall, Mariah and I really loved our experience at Crystal Beach Resort. I mean, we still talk about it to this day. So I think the first thing we really liked was that the restaurant was open later into the night, which made it a whole lot easier to look for a place to eat. We arrived at around 7 p.m. and after a day of island hopping, we just really weren't in the mood to look for other places to eat. So we were really happy that the restaurant was still open. So the service was great. The food was okay, but in terms of food at Crystal Beach Resort, what we enjoyed more was the breakfast buffet. So there were so many options and the food was delicious. I remember eating so much because we needed more energy for the rest of the day. And in terms of like waking up in the morning, choose the glamping tents. So we really enjoyed the glamping tents because the glamping tents are set up nearest to the shore than the other tents. So you really get the full beach experience of like waking up to the waves in the morning. And aside from that, let me just check my notes. The beach was also really well maintained, so you won't even like I know some people are very particular about like fine white sand. So as we mentioned in this video, the sand at Crystal Beach Resort isn't fine white sand, but it is a very fine grayish sand, and it was really well maintained. The shore was clean. Crystal Beach has a lot of rentals and facilities like their restaurant, their coffee shop, and honestly, like the way the whole resort is set out with the agoho trees and all of that. It's a really great experience. So if you guys ever do get to try it, please do let us know what you think about it, and if our recommendations, if the information we shared with you guys was helpful. Yeah, so if you guys haven't noticed, this part of the video is very new. We're also just trying it out. So if you have any thoughts about this, if you'd like to see more of us, like if you'd like to see more of Mariah and Asta, if you guys would like to finally hear Asta do a voiceover, let us know. That's it for this video. If you have any questions about staying in Crystal Beach Resort or traveling to Zambales in general, leave a comment below. If you have suggestions for the next destinations we should visit, sound off in the comments too, or message us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. We're Philippine Beach List on all these platforms. If you want to see more travel guides like this and everything you need to know about traveling around the country, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you get notified when we have new videos. You can also check out our blog, philippinebeaches.org. The Philippines is made up of thousands of islands. It's going to take a lifetime to visit each one. So we better start counting. Again, this is Hannah. Join me next time as we check another destination off our Philippine beach list. Bye!